Hey everyone, it's Josh from Carney Media Group and the Music Tech Help Guy YouTube channel. Today I'm checking out the Evo 4. It's a small format audio interface from Audient. So it's a small format interface with a price point that's very affordable for musicians and producers looking to record their music from home. It's only $129 US, and it's got really nice crystal clear preamps for that price and a really cool feature set, including an option called Smartgain. So this will be particularly helpful for people who are new to recording and maybe you don't know how to properly, set the levels of your microphones yet. So the Smartgain feature is really helpful for that. So in this video, I'll be doing a full review and overview of the features, and I'll also show you how to set up your microphones using the Smartgain feature. And I'll also be recording a whole song with it, just using 2 channels. All right, so first I'll go through how to set this up. On the back of the Evo, you've got stereo line outputs for your studio monitors and 2 dual XLR and 1/4-inch inputs for microphone or line inputs. There's also a front-facing instrument level input, which I'll use later to record electric bass, but you could also use this for electric guitar if you're into using amp sims and things like that. And then also on the front, you have a 1/4-inch headphone jack. So I'll plug my mic into input 1 on the back, and then in my DAW, I'm using Logic here. I'll make sure that I set up the Evo as my audio interface for my input and output device. The 2 buttons on the right toggle the big knob between your monitor mix and your output volume. If you press the top button, the big knob will blend between direct hardware monitoring on the left and software monitoring on the right. So if you set this over to the left, you'll hear the signal coming from the mic before it even hits your DAW. If you set this over to the right, the signal will go through your DAW first, then back to your headphones. The bottom button on the right is simply your output volume. This controls the level of the monitors or your headphones. And to me, this is probably the biggest flaw on this interface. It does not have an individual volume control for headphones and your monitors. When you plug in your headphones, it automatically mutes the monitors, and the big knob will just control the headphones. So this is useful right now because I don't have any studio monitors hooked up and I'm just using headphones to monitor my recording. But if you're using studio monitors, you'll have to plug in and unplug the headphones to switch between headphones and monitors, which I find to be a bit of a nuisance. I'd rather just have an extra button here to adjust the headphone level independently. On the left, you can select one of the 2 input channels to dial in the preamp gain individually for each. So I can just select channel 1 here, turn on phantom power for condenser mics, and then dial in the preamp gain to taste. One thing I really like about this interface is that it has independent phantom power for each of the 2 channels. So if I select channel 2, you'll see phantom power turns off. So maybe I wanted a condenser mic on channel 1, but then a dynamic mic on channel 2, you can do that. And with a lot of cheaper interfaces, this is not an option. With most cheaper interfaces, when you turn on phantom power, it turns on phantom power for both channels, not just one of them. So that's a nice touch. Now, if you're new to recording, the Smartgain function will be particularly helpful for you. This automatically adjusts the microphone preamp gain for you. First, press the Smartgain button and it'll turn green. Channels 1 and 2 will start flashing. Choose either channel 1 or channel 2, or you can press both channels at once to stereo link them. So I'll choose channel 1, then press the Smartgain button again. Now it'll flash in red. Smartgain will automatically dial in the correct level and will flash in green when it's done. Next, I'll just make sure I have an audio track pulled up in Logic. I'll make sure that the track has the correct channel selected, and I'll arm the track for recording and hit record. If you need to go back and manually adjust the preamp level, simply select that channel and then dial down or pull up the preamp gain. You can also control this in the software in Logic by adjusting this knob here. I'm using an Austrian Audio OC18 for acoustic guitar here, and I'm just aiming the capsule around the 12th to 15th fret area. You can also record in stereo with 2 mics, but I want to do a second guitar layer so I can pan these hard left and hard right for a nice wide stereo effect. Next, I'll lay down some bass using the front-facing instrument input. When you plug in an instrument input, this takes the place of input 1. I'll just pull up a bass amp sim in Logic for this. Next, I'm going to lay down some drums. Yep, I'm going to record drums with just 2 channels. For this, I'm going to use my Earthworks SR20LS on the kick, and then just a single overhead. I want to use an Omni mic for this, so I can pick up more of the room as well. And the only mic I have at the moment in my house that has this polar pattern is this Warm Audio WA47 Junior, which is a cheap U47 clone without the tube, but it'll get the job done. Now, I am not a great vocalist by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to give this a shot. For vocals, I'm using the Austrian Audio OC18 again. This is a really great mic for the price, and I have a standalone review coming for this soon, so stay tuned for that. And like all the other examples, there's some EQ and compression, but no time-based effects. There's also a bit of Melodyne on here as well to clean up some of my pitchy spots. Also, in the second half, I layered in some low and high backing vocals. These were not tuned.
You had me at the first time, honey. You gave me all your love. There's nothing wrong with staying up till 3 a.m. sipping wine and laughing all night long with you. I've got this feeling in my bones. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
So lastly, let me just sum up some of the things that I liked about it and some of the things I didn't like. First and foremost, the price is great. $129 is cheap enough where pretty much anyone can afford it. The preamps are really clear, really crystal clear, especially for that price point. The feature set is nice. It's pretty easy to use. And also, I really like the fact that you can have phantom power on individual channels. You don't see that in a lot of cheaper interfaces. Now, there's 3 things in particular that I didn't like about the Evo. The main thing is that you can't independently monitor your speakers and your headphones. They're tied together, and when you plug in your headphones, it automatically mutes the main outs. I really don't like that feature. I think it would have been simple enough just to add another button here. So hopefully that's something that they'll add in the future so you can independently monitor both of those audio outputs. The second is that the buttons sometimes are a bit unresponsive. You really have to press down on them to get them to engage. The LEDs are kind of dim. If you're in a well-lit space, it's going to be kind of difficult sometimes to see which LED is actually lit up. There was a lot of times where I was, doing this with my hands to figure out which LED was actually on. I'd prefer to see mechanical switch style buttons on this, like my Mackie Big Knob has. When I press a button like this, I know when it's on or off. I'm not having to dim the light with my hands to make sure that the LED is on. So that's just kind of a nitpicky thing. Really don't like the buttons. I'd rather see mechanical switches, but that's just me. The interface comes with a USB-C to USB-A cable for hookup. Although if you're a new MacBook user like me, you already know that you're stuck with all USB-C. So in my tests before this video, I actually tried 2 different third-party USB-C cables with no luck at all. Neither of them worked. So I contacted Audient to ask them about this, and they said that it should work with most third-party USB-C cables as long as they're under 3 meters. I also made sure that I had the most recent drivers installed for the Evo, which didn't help either. So just be aware of that. If you're using third-party cables, your mileage may vary. However, I ended up just buying a USB-A to USB-C adapter from Amazon. These are from Syntech, and I got 2 of these for like $10. With the adapter, it worked great, and I'm assuming any adapter or any USB hub you already have will most likely work fine. So that's the Evo 4 from Audient. It's a great little interface that's perfect for musicians and producers looking to record their own music from home. And it's a particularly great option for people who are brand new to recording. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. As always, thanks for the support and thanks for watching.